Welcome to PhD&D on YouTube, a video response for Same Old G in his video, The Great Utopia, talking about this immersive play we've been talking about, and how he doesn't believe it fully can be achieved. Also calling out those who say it can, asking for proof. He wants to see video on it, because he still is trying to achieve it. Well done on you, Same Old G, number one, for bringing it up, saying that you don't believe it's achievable, calling out those who do in a good way, because I fully agree with you on most of your points here. And I'd like to turn this into this week's meeting of the minds, because it touches on, I guess, a better topic at this point in the community than what I had prepared. This is what we've been talking about. This is what a lot of people have been talking about, and is a very widespread topic that just tons of people have touched on. So let's go with that. If you'd like to respond to this week's Meeting of the Minds, please do so via responding in a video or comment to Same Old G's video, The Great Utopia, because he started this. So I'll post this as Meeting of the Minds, but go check out his video first. And I'd like to give my 2 cents on the topic. You say it's this utopia that's not achievable, that you're never going to get to a point where no players ever break character, and the GM only talks through NPCs, there's no discussion of mechanics, no problems, fully immersed. That's what I'm getting here. That is what I'll refer to as this great utopia, because I agree. I don't think it can be achieved. I think the maybe 1/100th of a percent of the population of RPGers may get to a point where they can even get close to that style of play. I try in my group to enhance the role-playing, enhance the immersive nature of it. I'm striving towards, I guess I'm building a map to El Dorado, is how I'd like to put it. Trying to find this city of gold, this great utopia. And, through every mean we can, we're trying to get there. But deep down, I don't want to get there. And let me explain that. There are aspects of this game, and it is a game, that contradict the immersive nature that people are discussing in this great utopia. There are aspects that are fun. And at its basic, I guess I haven't done a video on this like I wanted to, but at its most basic, these role-playing games are nothing more than a way to have fun. They aren't. If there's something else entirely, I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear why or what. But they were established to tell a story, be a part of that story, all while having a good time, having fun with others. So I don't want to take any of the fun out. If you dive into this great utopia, or you get there, there's things you can't do that are a lot of fun. For instance, the game runs on dice. Most games do. D20 systems, for instance, if you throw it down, and it's at a dire moment when you're either going to die or you're going to save your entire party. And this 2-0 is face up after you roll it. There's a huge emotions take you over, this excitement, this just rush of fun, just like boom, there it was, nat 20. That's exactly how a lot of my players say it. They roll it, nat 20. You can't do that as a character. Your character would not, he would not deliver the killing blow to an orc or to the villain. And during his move where he takes his sword and beheads this thing, he would not scream nat 20. That's not immersive. But I don't want to get rid of that. That is a huge moment of fun. Those are memories being created when a player rolls a nat 20. You can't take those out. That takes out part of the spirit and soul of a game. For me. And a lot of this will be for me. So if you disagree, please make a video or comment on why. That's the purpose of these Meeting of the Minds and this fantastic topic produced by Same Old G. So continuing on, I'm going to tell a little short story here about one of the best game sessions of my life. I was DMing the 4th edition D&D Tomb of Horrors. We played it out, spread it into one of our campaigns. It spans over like 10 or 12 levels. And so we were in and out. It was part of the major story. And my players hated it. I was running it as Tomb of Horrors should be run. It was awful. We lost characters here and there. And it was just terrible. You can't, it's in the Tomb of Horrors, there's certain things you can't do that you might be able to do at other times. And it may be metagaming, but each player knew that he had to take extra precautions in doing anything because it's just set up to mess you up. So at the very end, the very last session, there won't be any spoilers here. They had, they killed the final villain. The cleric says to the party, find the phylactery, destroy it, bury this tomb. Don't talk about it. Don't ever bring it up again. It's over and done with. And then they left. In a fully immersive game, that's it. They move on to the next task. Tomb of Horrors is over and done with. All my guys broke character right there. They broke character. One of them had a song queued up. I had no idea. And I still don't know why they picked this song. Two Princes by Spin Doctors. It's a big hit, I think, in the 90s. Check it out. Completely rips you out of any immersiveness you have. We play very in-depth music, very good music while we play to try to bring you into the mood. No, this tore us straight out. Not only that, the cleric, the player playing the cleric, proceeded to stand up, dance, and sing the song at the top of his lungs, shortly to be joined one at a time by each of the other players, and eventually me, because it was unbelievable. It showed me that I'd ran the Tomb of Horrors as intended. It was a terrible experience for them. They were so relieved to be done with it that there was just this mid-game celebration, because that's what they're saying. It is a game. They were victorious. They stood up to celebrate. They started pouring drinks. We don't usually drink during games, but they started pouring each other drinks, dancing around the table. It was insanity. The rest of the session was very hard to get them back into anything, but it was also a feel-good moment for the rest of the session. They went through and just kind of showed their power and might anyways. So that's not being immersed. Dancing around the table. They were, rolling dice, high fives, square dancing with each other, singing. It was an experience, but it was one of the most memorable experiences we've ever had. And I don't want to get rid of stuff like that. I enjoy that. I play to have fun, nothing more. So I strive for this Utopia just because I enjoy it. I enjoy trying to get more into characters. But I'm not opposed to some of these game aspects. I'm not opposed to, rolling an at 20 and celebrating. I'm not opposed to celebrating after you've achieved something in this game. Because that's what it is, in my opinion. It's a game. It's meant to have fun. That's my take on it. The select few who can even get close to full immersiveness, I just don't think anyone does. I think the people that get the closest to it also have those moments where they break out a character because it's fun. They break out because they did something sweet. They want to brag about it to everyone else. They want to enjoy their time there. So I think this great Utopia is something to strive for, but never want to quite get there. I play to have fun, and I'm not about to give up fun just to move fully into that Utopia, I guess. So, a lot of rambling there, but that's my response and the meeting of the minds for the week. And go check out Same Old G's video and put in your 2 cents. Now, a recap of last week's meeting of the minds. Last week's meeting of the minds was about how to fully bring a character to life. Less about how, I guess, more about when do you know your character's fully alive. And there were plenty of responses when a character has purpose, when the character finds purpose, when a player is able to make decisions without having to think about it, they just do. That was also another great response to, I know I'm fully alive, or that character's fully alive, when it's no longer work, when I can just play them. It's automatic. Another great response, Don Forgecast talked about voices, accents, things that put him in character. And he talked about what is a living character anyways. What is what we're talking about here? How do we know they're alive? So voices, accents put you in there, and they can easily bring it to life. And I can say with certainty that I used some of his techniques. I used a few more accents than I normally do with characters last week in one of my games, and it really made a difference. Huge difference in the life it brought to them. It drew my players in. They got mad at a couple of these guys because of how annoying they were, but it can really help aid bringing people to life. So that's just a quick discussion about where that one went, and thanks for watching Meeting of the Minds, and I hope you chime in on this week's amazing topic. Talk to you soon.